So I'm going to give a quick update, just kind of show for people who have not been here or didn't see last year's presentation, and then I'm going to get into the new stuff. So we've made a lot of progress in the last year. But to start off, the idea of Ozone is that we have our own execution engine, which allows you to rig a character once and then bring it into any environment that we support. So in this case, obviously we're in Unreal, and the key here is that this character is being driven by our engine. This is not a skin weight. This is not, let me select the right thing. Oh, let me actually go to the right place. Right, this is not an Alembic. This is a live asset being driven by the Ozone execution engine. And what you're seeing here is, because we control the whole asset from beginning to end, is that we have real-time subdivs. So this allows us to bring the level of kind of detail that you would expect in, say, a feature animation pipeline, and it brings it right into, hold on, Demo Man, doing the things that Demo Man can. Hold on, all right, sorry about that. Right, so when we look at our character here, right, we can see that we have the cage, right? We've got this low-res version of the character. So this is what the riggers rig. They rig this sparse cage. But at render time, right, we get this level of resolution. And it's not a fake, right? This is live geometry driven by the Ozone execution here in Unreal. So a really big thing for any of our virtual production clients, that they can continue to use their sparse cage workflow that they're used to in TV and film, bring that right into Engine, and they don't have to deal with managing all this extra complexity in there, right? Now, I'm gonna kind of zip through this a little bit, just kind of go show you the basics, but both of these animations, right, were animated in, where's my wide shot? There we go. We're both animated inside of Maya and then brought here into Unreal. But like I said, we're not using Alembics. The way we do this is that we have our asset, right, that drops in. This is a blueprint. This describes everything about the rig, and this is an animation file. And it's just that, it's just the animation file. So now you can animate wherever, again, wherever Ozone's supported, and you don't have to bake out an Alembic to get all the different deformers and all the different capabilities of your character to show up in any place that we support. And this, again, right here in Unreal. This animation here of this pup, we did a test as an Alembic. It's like 265 megabytes. As our clip format, what I've got selected here, it's 1 megabyte. So what that means is, in a pipeline where you're dealing with characters and you're dealing with shots and everything else, we're a much smaller footprint. It's much easier to use and send data back and forth, especially over a network, or especially when you've got people remote and across, you know, and you're doing everything through the internet. Let me turn this off here. Hit pause, and just to kind of show that, you know, here's that same asset running in Maya. And where we're going to show some of the new stuff is, right, in Maya, we're using M-Gear here, and we're taking that puppeting system, and we're just hanging the Ozone deformers on top. So this means that you can use all of the same pipeline tools, all the different animation tools that you've had for years in Maya, and just swap out the skin weights and put on Ozone, right? Our deformers hang on that scaffolding. And the way that works, simply here, is it's a single node, right? So this is what it looks like in Maya. It's a single node. It's just a Maya deformer, but everything that character is and does is encapsulated inside of that node. Now what this means is you don't have these incredibly complex systems in Maya that are slowing everything down, but it also means that everything you see here, we have that same node in Unreal. So everything we're doing here now, connecting in with M-Gear, we can do the same thing with Control Rig inside of Unreal, right? Now we're gonna kind of leave it there, and I'm gonna show some of the new stuff. So we have been working on a short film. It's called Like, and I'm gonna show you a quick trailer of this. So this, unfortunately our director couldn't make it here. Mark Walsh had some family stuff, so he couldn't make it out. But this short film, the whole intention is that it's using Ozone characters, all in Unreal, and you can play it back in real time. Now this is a rendered thing, it's an older trailer, but I guess I want to show you guys what this is.
Hi.
And the takeaway from this is that everything you see, even though these are rendered frames, was all playing back live in Engine. Our goal is to create a feature animation that if you play back in real time and it looks exactly the same as if it was final rendered, right? So if we come back into here, I'm gonna show you some more stuff with her. All right, so here's a little facial calisthenic with D. And then I've got an actual shot from the film I can show you too. All right. So one of the big tenets of what we're trying to do with Ozone is give you zero compromises, right? All the kind of capability you'd expect in a feature animation, and VFX as well, right? This is at the high end when you've got all this capability that you need, and there's art directable things you need to hit. We can give you that with Ozone and not have to compromise whether you're rendering it in Maya or in Unreal or wherever, right? And I'm told often that I got to show this in wireframe so that you can see that it's not a pre-rendered thing. This is all happening live here in Engine, right? And everything that's coming in, even though this has come in through a clip, I can edit these elements directly too. So if I grab her here and I go and bring up her jaw, right, I'm able to adjust and mung her in real time. Let's drop out of the camera here. And I'm gonna go ahead and catch this at the beginning this time so my zoom doesn't go all over the place. But right, I mean, everything you're seeing here is it's what you would expect in your standard animation package, but it's all right here in Unreal, right? Everything's running live. So now you truly have the ability to bring that feature capability in and modify it. So even though this has been driven by a clip that was animated in Maya, when it comes into Unreal, there's no joints in here at this point. There's no rig. It's literally like an Alembic replacement, except that it's all live deformers, and you can edit it. So now if you needed to make a change in context in your shot, which we did plenty of, you could add an override track and just override that A-bar, right? So now you can actually start making these changes in context as needed. Let me show you guys some more animation stuff here. Actually, let's go right to the shot from the show. So this is a shot that's, I guess I can tell you it's near the end of the movie, but, right? So this is, oops, let's turn that thumb off, right? Again, animated Maya brought in here into Unreal. But as we've been seeing all over the place, the ability to art direct, move cameras around, make adjustments here, right? And this is all, again, live in Engine. I'm actually really excited for you guys to see the short. It's great. I'm working on finishing it now. Now, part of what I want to show versus last year versus this year is that now we've got a lot more, we can take this character and we can connect it to a control rig. So now, if you wanted to, you could animate this directly in Engine. So let me come in here. So this is a prototype, so that you'll see there's a little bit of a delay. I've already talked, we know where it is, talked to the Epic guys, but here is our asset being driven by control rig. So now, you can completely bypass Maya if you wanted to, right? So everything, all the different controls and control rig compliance right here inside of Engine, right? Now this is a really big deal for game companies that want to take this, again, the high quality stuff, bring it into their games. I mean, everybody sees the future of being able to work and animate in context in real time, right? And for all my animator friends out there, they're not ready to go into Unreal just yet, not fully, right? So what Ozone does, especially for studios out there, is it gives you a way to build your character once, right? And then allow your animators to work wherever they're comfortable. And as control rig gets more I won't even say capable because it's really capable now, but getting people understand it, getting animators comfortable with this workflow, you don't have to re-rig your characters. With Ozone, it's the same asset, right? So now you literally can pick the environment you want to work in, and you don't have to rebuild things, right? Now let me bring up another demo here. So another thing that we spent some time is how connecting our face rig to the MetaHuman face board, right? Now, there are way more controls on this character than are controllable by the face board. So what you're going to see here is a subset of the capabilities. When you saw our little facial animation test, that's taking everything into account, right? So here is the face board, right? And everything is now mapped in and connected to our character. So this is not a MetaHuman character. This is an Ozone character driven by the MetaHuman faceboard. So all these controls are remapped or mapped to our avars to be able to make these shapes. Now, what's the power in this? Well, this means that if you have a MetaHuman pipeline, you can bring in Ozone assets, and you can drive those Ozone assets and control them. Right now, this has a whole bunch of stuff under the hood tuning, so you can say, well, when the MetaHuman avar does this, how much do I want the feature character's face to move? So you can add squishiness, you can add exaggeration to that input that would maybe not look as good or work as well in a MetaHuman with a photoreal asset, but will look great or look more great, if you will, with an Ozone or with a feature animation character, right? So this opens us up to this whole ecosystem, but really for our users, it means that they can take advantage of this and any kind of face tools they have with that. Now, this is just the start. I call this a prototype. We're still getting all the pieces and the connective tissue in there, and we're also building a Ozone faceboard that you can drive live inside of Control Rig that will give you access to all the controls. And we're also working with some partners, Jolly Animation, Faceware, and other guys that are looking to be able to map our face controls directly to their input and their drivers, again, through Control Rig or wherever, so that you can animate and build this stuff wherever you want. And then lastly, I got plenty of stuff to talk and show you guys about. So this was a dumb little test where I took the MetaHuman animator and did the face thing, and then we took that and we output it onto the rig. Again, it's pretty rough. We're still figuring out the mappings and stuff. It's really more of a, proof of concept here. All right, so let's get in here. This is me talking.
Any sort of calibration. The quick brown fox dropped over the something or another that I've never seen before and I don't understand.
And the point is, and again, this is very untuned, but you can see how we're getting some exaggeration in here.
So now I'm going to say things. No, I'm going to say things. I'm going to say things.
That's more akin to a feature animation character than a photoreal character.
I don't know how much it
and
works.
when we're done, then this will give you the ability to tune it. Now it's going to be limited by what the MetaHuman animator can do, but for a kind of step out of the gate, it's good. And one thing about, and this is a big deal, and actually let's go back into here. Our rigging technology is not limited to any one style of character, right? We can do photoreal. We haven't done that. We're doing feature animation, but if it's a dog or a cat or a talking garbage can or let's say, I'm going to set myself up for funness here, a magic carpet, right? The idea is that it's a general rigging solution that you can rig anything in. And then when we talk about things like face rigs and things like that, we have a standard set of controls that we bring to bear that we tune then to these different outputs. So this means that when we're looking at these different characters and we're looking at MetaHuman Animator or whoever the animation is coming, you can drive non-photorealistic, non-human-like characters as well, right? So it's really your ability to use any kind of character, any kind of style, and take advantage of these tools that were designed for, say, photoreal maybe, but then bring it into a more stylized environment. Here, let's bring up. Now, this I couldn't show you guys last year, but now I have permission. Thank you, Netflix and Real Effects. But we were able to produce an entire show using Ozone. So this was, all the animation was done at Real Effects, and every character in the show for Supergiant Robot Brothers was done using the Ozone character stuff, right?
That's a Roger. Twister, Obliterator, activated.
Right. And again,
But you, sir, are chonky.
it's designed to look very 2D, but it's done in
You're
3D.
right this whole time.
And-
I'm a gorgeous film. A red hot nothing. That's
How to say this?
Roger. Twister,
It's not a photoreal
Obliterator,
character,
activated.
right? So, and if you look at all of the content out there in the world, how much of it is photoreal people? It's kind of a small piece, really, if you look at the balance of all the things that are out there. And we, I believe, we're the best character rigging solution that's a general rigging solution out there. And part of our mission is to bring all of this capability down and put it into your hands through a series of master rig library components that allow you to do things, but also allow you to work wherever you want to work, whether it's Unreal or Maya or whatever. Now, I think we all agree that Unreal is heading toward being the big winner, and we love these guys. But we also know the realities of production. People are using different tools all the time. So this can be something that can take a lot of pain out of a production, where once you have your asset built, you can use it anywhere. So here's some more characters that are in here. Right? And these elements were good. So when we did the show, their internal rigging team did all of the main characters. They actually asked us to help with some of these creatures and things. So we built a whole library of components. And I was able to pull these characters together with these reusable components in like 2 days a pop. So I was able to build these, like a series of these rigs. Now granted, this is not Gollum, but these kind of characters, these kind of creatures, we could build all these reusable components to make the rigging really easy. I think that is about it as far as the robot stuff to show. So yeah, for us, this was a very big deal of being able to really engage in a production that got delivered all the way down, is being distributed and displayed. And it was hard, working on this kind of stuff. But we went through the trial of fire, and it wasn't the first company that went through that battle with us. But now we're at a point where we are production proven. We can be used and deliver at scale. And what we're working on now, and I'm kind of happy to announce today, is we're releasing we're not releasing today. I'm going to get yelled at. I'm announcing today that we're working on, we're going to be delivering the Ozone tools for Maya. So before, the workflow required you to use Modo for all of your rigging, and then you would animate everything in Maya and Unreal. Now, with this, all of your weighting, your fitting, your sculpting, all of your character production, everything can take place inside the Maya UI. And in that, I'm going to give you guys a little tease and show you, this is alpha here, but this is a Ozone asset. This is the Ozone editor, live inside of Maya. So up to this point, you would have to do all of your work in Modo. You'd do all your rigging there, your weighting, and then you'd convert that description into Ozone. Now here, we can not only among these channels here, but I can start coming in here and I can start editing weights, right? So let's go here, I'm gonna among the weights, and we'll come in, and I need to select the points first, then I'll among the weights, right? So here it is, I can start editing and changing these weights all live. This means that we're all of the production of your characters, of course this is a look simple example, but all the heavy lifting, if you think about all the work that goes into rigging a character, 90% is doing the actual shapes, building the shapes, art directing, getting input, building things out for animators, and 10% is building the rigs. And in that case, we also have a lot of these rigs that already come along for the ride. So we have a full human biped rig, we have a quadruped rig, and all the components built in so that you don't have to start from scratch. So anyway, thanks you guys. I'm over by a minute now, but thank you. Oh, one last thing. We are taking, if people are interested in our private beta, feel free to take a scan of this. It's a limited beta right now, but if you're interested, please let us know. Sign up on the list. Tell us where you work, what you're interested in. and we'll let you guys know as we start doing that. But the goal is to start getting real-world feedback from real-world artists right now. Not today, right now, but when we release the beta. Shane's going to throw stuff at me. But we're interested in getting your feedback because, like, you guys have asked some really great questions. Nothing breaks a product and makes it great other than users using it in a real way and giving us that feedback. So anyway, see you guys.